So what you're going to be asked to do today is graph an equation of a real-world situation and read a real-world problem to determine the slope and the y-intercept. You already know how to graph the equations. We've done that before. Now, reading a real-world problem and determining the slope and y-intercept is the piece that you have not done. So as a reminder, hint, 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 maybe you should write this down. You're going to use the formula y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope. We know that that's rise over run. Remember, you're always going to go up or down and then to the right. You're either going to go up or down and to the right. And then b is the y-intercept. It's where the line hits the y-axis. Remember, b reminds you to begin, where this line begins. You can also think of where in the real world problem, where does it begin? So if we use the equation y equals 1/2 x plus 3, remember y equals mx plus b, so the b is 3, the y-intercept is 3. So what you do is you start at the point 3. So you go up to up to 3 on the y-axis. So you go to the y-axis, you go up 3, and you start there. And then from that point, you're going to do the slope, which is up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. So we're going to go up 1 to the right 2. Up 1 to the right 2. So here, again, the first thing you're going to do is write down y equals m. What is the m here? The m here is negative 1/3 x plus b. What's the b? 2. So you are going to start at the point 2. You're going to start at the point 2. From that point, we go down 1 to the right 3. Down 1 to the right 1, 2, 3. Down 1 to the right 3. Now this isn't on the practice, but you should remember how to do this. This should not be anything. Oh, that was a really, sorry, I'm doing it without a mouse. That was a really bad straight line. Oh, that was even worse. All right, so connect it with a straight line. Do not look at Miss Woods. All right, so again, y equals mx plus b. So the m here is 3. The b is not 4. It is negative 4. So you're going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it says 3. How do I turn 3 into a fraction? Well, I put it as 3 over 1. That means I'm going to go up 3 to the right 1. Up 3 to the right 1. Up 3 to the right, okay. Up 3 to the right 1. Up 3 to the right 1. And then obviously we know that I cannot connect dots. You would connect the dots. Who cares? When are we going to use this anyway? Well, you know what? We actually do in the real world. So what I need you to do is on the notes page, you are going to be doing, I'm going to do this first one with you. There'll be a second video to kind of explain again how to determine the slope and the y-intercept from a real world problem. But the most important part is that you actually practice this skill. So I'm going to do this first one with you. The rest of them, what I want you to do is identify the slope and the y-intercept. So you're going to go to the notes page, which is here. And for each one of them, I want you to identify the slope and the y-intercept in terms of the real world problem. So, for example, we're just going to focus on the graph. So again, I'm doing the first one with you. So the first thing I want you to always find out is what is the y-intercept, because that's where it begins. So let's read the problem. Okay. Jack has written 30 pages of his novel, and he plans to write 12 pages per week until he has completed the novel. Which one of those two things is going to happen over and over and over and over and over again? Well, the 12, that means in the first week he's going to do 12 pages in 1 week. And then he's going to do another 12 pages for the second week. Then he's going to do another 12 pages for the third week. That's going to happen over and over and over again. But where he starts, the 30 pages of his novel, that's not going to change, that because he's going to add more pages to it. So where it begins, where our scenario starts, is at the 30 pages of his novel. So you go to your notebook pages and do 30 pages. Because it's a real world scenario, I need to know what it is that we're talking about. Are we talking about inches? Are we talking about elephants? Are we talking about feet? Are we talking about, like, I need to know this information. So you need to make sure you've included it. The M is also the other piece of information you need, is the slope. So in our real world problem, it's 12 pages per week. So we're going to go back to 12 pages per week. And then I need you to include the equations. So y equals mx. I don't need you to write m, but I do need you to substitute. What number do you put in there for m? 12. So y equals 12x plus, what number do you use for b? That would be 30. So I need this information for each of the other graphs. I need to know what the b is. How do you identify the b? With the label. I need to know the m with the label. And I need to know the equation for each one. So again, this information needs to be on your note page. And then you need to graph it. So I've reviewed how to do the graphing already. The only thing that's going to be slightly difficult is the fact that now you're going to have to know what to count by. I can tell you that on this particular one, you're going to count by 6s going up. That will be the only one that will work for you. The rest of them are pretty self-explanatory. So we have already determined the y and the b, or the m and the b. So you're going to count by 6s up the graph. Why? Because it's the GCF. And then you're going to count by 1s across the bottom. And then you're going to graph it. So this would be 6, 12, 18, 24, 30. So it begins at 30. And then this would be 6, this would be 12. So he goes up 12 over 1 for the week. Up 12 over 1 for the week. And then make sure that you draw a straight line. Okay, so the second problem, again, you need to make sure that you are identifying the B and the M. So kind of do these in the opposite. So what is the y-intercept? Where does it begin? And then which one is happening over and over again? That's the slope. And then you simply graph it. This one you can do by 1s. So an albatross is a kind of bird. And this one I want you to pay attention to is the word descending. The word descending means that it's going down. So this is going to be going down 50 feet per minute. And you're going to need to count by, on your graph for this one, I would count by 50 every other. So this would be 50, 100. So sorry, my writing is so bad. Skip 150. Skip 200. 250. 300. So you would start here at 300. You're going to go down 50 to the right 1, down 50 to the right 1, down 50 to the right 1, down 50 to the right 1. Sam has 15 teaspoons of chopped nuts. This one you need to change to an improper fraction. So this becomes 3 over 2. So where does it begin? How many nuts do we begin with? And then again, when you use it, is that going to be a positive slope or a negative slope? It is going to be a negative. This she'll be able to count by ones, so it should be pretty easy. And then the last one. Okay, Jacob is ordering DVDs from a website. The site charges a flat fee of $5 for shipping and $9 for each DVD. So, which one is not going to change? The $5. It's a flat fee. That's where it begins. And then $9. In fact, just for ease of graphing, let's change this to $10. That way you can do these by fives. So count by fives, up the graph, graph this scenario, and you should be good to go. Make sure you turn it in. Thank you.